Class 7 Chemistry Chapter 3 Elements, Compounds and Mixtures. Good morning students. Dear students, till now we have learned the definition of elements, compounds and some of the characteristics of elements we have already learned. Let us see some more characteristics. Now an element is made up of the same kind of atom. However, different elements are made up of different kinds of atoms. Okay, so I already discussed with you people that if a iron rod is there, so every atom of that iron rod will be made up of iron only. A copper rod is there, so every atom of that rod will be made up of copper only. Okay, then it cannot be split further into a simple form. So I told you, by any chemical mean you cannot further divide the atom. Like at last if you get the oxygen, so you cannot further divide oxygen into its constituent parts by the chemical reaction. You cannot divide the carbon atom into its parts by the chemical reaction. Then it is a pure substance as it is made up of only one kind of atom. Then each element has a fixed property such as melting or boiling point and density. So copper has a fixed density, iron some other fixed density, aluminium some other fixed density. Got this? So these densities are different from other elements. Like copper has different density from iron, iron has different density from aluminium. So some example they are giving you, the melting point. Okay, so this example has been in terms of melting point. So melting point of iron is about 1500 degrees Celsius, while that of the silver is about 960 degrees Celsius. Then you know that elements can be classified as metals, non-metals and metalloids based on their properties. Like gold, silver, iron, sodium, calcium and magnesium are metals, while chlorine, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon and sulfur are non-metals. Later on we will see what is the main distinction between metals and non-metals and metalloids. Then silicon and germanium show properties of metals as well as non-metals, hence they are classified as metalloids. So metalloids are the materials or substances or elements which have the property, some properties from metals and some properties from non-metals. Then we have symbol of an element. So why we design the symbols of the elements? Like carbon is denoted by C, oxygen is denoted by O, hydrogen is denoted by H. Let us see. A symbol is a shorthand notation of one atom of an element. Now students, can you think why we used short terms or symbols for the elements? You know, basically chemistry is a science or is a branch of science where we deal with the chemicals, compounds, molecules, and every time if we are going to write their reactions, so we need to write in whole sentence or in whole words about the reaction. For example, if hydrogen and oxygen, if they are reacting, so I need to tell or I need to write that hydrogen reacts and reacts with oxygen to become water. So it is a very lengthy sentence. So instead of this sentence, I can show the reaction in terms of the symbols. Okay, so it makes the work easy from my side as well as it will make the work easy from your side also, because only the reaction you will see and you will get to know after just seeing the reaction that okay, hydrogen reacts with the water, this oxygen to give the water molecule. For example, if I write like this, H2O2 will give you water. So instead of writing that hydrogen reacts with oxygen to give water, so this was a very cumbersome process for me and this was a easy process for me, and this is also a cumbersome process for you to make understand yourself, and it is very easy to get the idea. Okay, so that's why we are using the symbols of the molecules or compounds or elements. Now a symbol of an element has one or two letters derived from the name of the element. So usually the first letter of the name of the element is used to represent it. For example, O for oxygen and C for carbon. Okay, so you can see the periodic table, and so many symbols. It is made up of only single letter, and that single letter is generally, or most of the time, it is the first letter of the word of that element. Just let us see this amazing fact. What is it? Dalton was the first scientist to propose symbols for elements. He used pictorial symbols for the elements discovered till then. So students, to have the first idea about this Dalton case, uh, you can just go through the chemistry book of your last year, that is class 6, and from there you can see some of the symbols of oxygen, hydrogen. Okay, so basically initially they were represented not with the letter, but they were represented, the elements were represented in the form of pictorial fashion. But now these days we represent the element symbol with the letter, either one or two letters. And students, there are certain elements whose name start with the same letter. Let us see. For example, this cobalt, you can see, the chromium you can see. Okay, and carbon, you know, carbon also starts with the C. So C we have reserved for the carbon, and for cobalt, the first two letters of the cobalt we have taken CO. In case of chromium, the symbol is Cr. So students, basically the symbols are derived from the element's name itself. Then this fourth point I'm reading: if an element is represented by only one letter, it is written in the form of a capital letter. So oxygen, one letter is there. Okay, in oxygen symbol one letter is there, and that is O. In carbon one letter is there, that is C. Then if an element is represented by two letters, the first is written in capitals and the second in small letters. But do remember students that it is not always necessary the second letter will be the same letter which is coming in the name of the element. For example, here you can see in case of chromium, it is Cr but not Ch. Now it is clear to you. So chromium, the symbol is Cr but not Ch. Then if an element is represented by two letters, the first is written in capitals and the second in small letters. So once again, this cobalt, capital C, small o. Cr, capital C, second letter will always be the smaller one. Then there are certain elements whose name has been derived from their Greek name. Okay, let us see. Symbols of some elements are derived from their Latin names. For example, Na for sodium. Now you know that sodium, it is starting from S, second letter is O, but that S we have reserved for the sulfur. So sodium must have some another symbol, and we have taken it to be the Na. And from this, where this Na has been derived, obviously it is derived from the sodium only, but its Latin name. Let us see what is the Latin name of sodium. So basically Latin name of sodium is natrium, you can see. Okay, so from here Na has been taken. Then this Ag for silver. Now silver again starts with S, second letter is I. Okay, but that silver we have given the name or the symbol capital A small g, and from where this capital A small g has been derived, it has been derived from the silver name only, but which language name? Greek or Latin language. So in Latin or Greek language we say argentum. Silver is called argentum. So from there we have derived Ag. So students, these are the names of some common elements along with their symbol. So just make yourself familiar with these symbols and their names. Okay. And also make yourself familiar with other elements whose English name is different from their Latin name, and they have been assigned the symbol from their Latin name only. So Na, K, Fe, Cu, Ag, Au, Hg, Pb, Sn. So students, this is all for today. Goodbye.